All right, everyone. So welcome to day two's lesson. It's called A Little Bit of Coding and a Little Bit of Belonging. Now, the little bit of coding is we're going to redo the Hello World tutorial in a different way. You're going to follow along. You're going to make sure that you get it to work. And essentially, we're just going to make sure that we're all on the same page so that next week we can make sure that we can start our actual coding in practice. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a project to do that's really important that I was going to have you do anyways in this course. But essentially, the second project is something that does not involve computer coding. So let's go ahead and click on our A Little Bit of Coding, A Little Bit of Belonging. Today, our coding video teaches you about content delivery networks, a method that will bypass our need to download and unzip the JSI program and files. Watch the short video. Make sure you can use the CDN to run the Hello World program. It's important that you know how to find and include the files using the CDN. What is a CDN? Let's go back to day two orientation. Content Delivery Network, JSI, CDN. We are, and I've used it, so I've got to hit that delete button. Now, essentially, what we did last time was we downloaded this entire file, all these files to our computer and tried to use them. For some reasons, across different computers, we were having different problems. And I don't like it when we have problems like that. It creates rumor. Like, there were things going on where people were deleting every period in their file name structure, and there were other problems where people had a problem unzipping their files, but were still able to write into a zipped directory, and that was causing everything not to work. Took me an hour to figure that out for two of our students. And ultimately, right, I'm sorry for that frustration of last week. I couldn't really predict it, but what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to cut out the downloading the JSPsych to your computer. So this content delivery network is just a link to all the files in the cloud. So we can use this CDN to get all the files we need, okay? And so what do I want you to do? Well, I want you to kind of redo the Hello World tutorial, except I want you to do it like a lazy hacker would. So this is the Hello World tutorial, which is also linked. If we go back, I click back, and the Hello World tutorial is linked right here. Lazy hacker, you know this is supposed to work. So we're going to copy all of this into a new file like this, new window. Oh, sorry, I always do this, new file. I don't know why new window, I always do that. So then I'm going to save this. File has a new folder, filed save as. You can save this one wherever you want. It doesn't even matter. I am still going to save it on my desktop. And these are all the times I've practiced this today for you. I'm going to give this a name. Final hello world.html. Must have .html in there. Click save. And what you're then going to do is you're going to get these script links right here are linking to JSPsych files that no longer exist on my computer. I need to get rid of that one. This is another file that does not exist on my computer. I need the JSPsych library, that jspsych.js. I need the HTML keyboard response.js, and I need the style sheet link. Okay. So I'm getting rid of those, and what am I going to replace them with? I'm going to replace them with the files in the cloud. How do you do that? Okay. Well, first we need jspsych.js. Now, we're here, we see jspsych.js, and I can just do one file at a time just to show you, right? I'm going to click this auto optimization off, going to click HTML output, I'm going to click copy all. If you notice right here, this is the code that I need to put here. Well, I've just copied it, right? And now I'm just going to go edit, paste, boom. Right before it was linking a file on your computer. Now mine is linking a file in the cloud. If you want me to prove that to you, I will show you. I'll just copy that link right here. You can see I've been practicing, and that's what's being copied. That's what's being linked to in this specific file. I need to do that 2 more times. I'm going to do them together. I need to do it for the JSPsych HTML keyboard response, and I need to do it for the jspsych.css. So I'm going to go back to jspsych.js. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. I need the CS file as well. Go back, and I need one more thing, the plugin, the HTML keyboard response plugin. So HTML keyboard response plugin. So these are all the sources I need. I've already copied the jspsych.js to my program, but I'm going to leave it there because what you should do is kind of figure out as many, when you know the files that you need, you should just copy them into that area of your document underneath the title. So I'm going to show and configure my links. I'm going to click off the auto optimization. I'm going to click on the HTML output. I'm going to copy all. And that's only going to copy the JavaScript. I got to do the same thing for the CSS, but that's fine. Clicking on my Visual Studio Code. I'll just show you. I'm going to repaste this again. Paste. And what we have is we have two identical links. I'm just going to get rid of one of them. Okay. Now I've linked jspsych.js. I've linked the keyboard response.js file. This is a plugin. That's how the JSPsych program works. It uses plugins. But I know that a lot of folks want to see that this is a specific file. Both of these. That's jspsych.js. You can see it right here. And this is jspsych keyboard response.js. So now we're just linking these files that exist in the cloud for us. That's it. And finally, the last one, we got to copy our style sheet to the same section. It's in there, right? Final hello world.html. Hopefully this is my final one. File, save as, final hello world.html. Yes, I'm going to replace it. And then I'm just going to go in to where I saved it. My final hello world.html. Save there. Open with Google Chrome. And it works. That's what you have to do. If you can get this to work, we're gravy. You're going to move on to the next section. Just follow me. Now, the other thing I do want to say is that I know last week wasn't your favorite week. It wasn't mine either. Some of us got it to work. Some of us didn't. But I do want to say this, that when something doesn't work in a tutorial, the problem's with your computer, and you just got to know that. I don't know what those problems are. It could be with your code, how you wrote it, or it could be with your computer itself. Some people were having computer problems. Now what we've done is we've taken the file structure on our computer out of the equation. And all we have to get correct is our CDN links, and we got to have our code that works. So we're cutting out the file structures on your computer. We're cutting out permissions on your computer. We're cutting out all of that. And all we're going to do now is access the CDN. So I'm just going to go back to the CDN one more time and sort of show you. In general, you will need this file. In general, you will need this style sheet. And then a majority of your time is going to be picking and adding plugins. And you can see here, we got all these different plugins that we can add and use. And we're going to play around with some of those. The one thing that doesn't work, but you still have access to, that I think is very useful, are the examples, right? These example files do exist. The examples, they have all these examples in here. But essentially what you're going to have to do to use them is, I just want to see, nope, it's, to use these examples, you're going to have to download the JSPsych program and then alter those examples to have the CDN. I will explain that to you when we need them. But essentially, all the files are located here. Now, the problem with the examples is when you click here, it just gives you, it's trying to run the JavaScript, so the examples don't work on the CDN. But don't let that bother you, okay? ultimately, at the end of the day, you can get these examples just by going through and downloading the file here through the GitHub page, just like we did earlier in the previous video. Those examples are going to be the only thing useful that you don't have access to on the CDN. But I will go ahead and make sure we have all those example files that we find useful. But ultimately, your job today is to make sure you can get the Hello World program to work. So just reiterate, copy this, okay? Then you're going to do exactly what I did. Copy that, place it in your Visual Studio Code, get rid in your Visual Studio Code, get rid of the, let's see if I got an example. We're not even going to worry about that. Get rid of the old source links that are here, right? Switch these out for these right here. They're all linking the same file. It's just here it assumes the file's on your computer, and here it assumes the file is on the cloud. That's step number one. You get this Hello World program to work. You and I are cool for coding today. That's what we need to know. So this video is over, and now I'm going to show you what you need to do to make the world a better place and not have to code today. Going to give you a break from coding this week. If you missed last week, there are a few of you. I want you just to sort of hang out with me, and then I can explain to you what's going on. Okay? But really anybody should be able to follow this along. You have all the links in today's lesson. I'm going to just show you those one more time. You have your instructions. You have the content delivery network. These are my code, but when you download them, they down like a zip file. So if you wanted my code for Hello Baby Yoda, it would be right here, but don't worry about that. This is the link to the Hello World tutorial. Go down to the bottom, copy and paste, get rid of these three things, replace them with the CDN appropriate links. Now, here's one thing I'm going to tell you. If jspsych.js is not first, then it will not run, okay? It will crash. jspsych.js has to be first, or it will not run. So that's very important. I think we are on board here. I think we are doing well, and this is the end of this specific part of the lecture. Not the lecture, but the activity. And I did describe it about 3 times. Copy this, paste it into your VS Code, use your content delivery network, make sure you're clicked on jspsych.js, jspsych.css, and jspsych.html in the plugins, the jspsych HTML keyboard response plugin. Show and configure all links. Click HTML output. Click off auto optimization. Copy all, paste, done.